everyone, and welcome to today's X Space on investing in crypto tips and strategies. My name is Vera, and I'm thrilled to have you all here as we dive into the exciting and dynamic world of crypto investing. So, whether you're just starting your journey or if you're a seasoned investor looking to sharpen your strategies, we've got something for everyone. Today, we'll explore a range of topics that are crucial for anyone looking to navigate the crypto market successfully. Today, we'll discuss the initial steps as a beginner should take before making their first investment. We'll explore how to build a diversified crypto portfolio and examine the key factors to consider when choosing which crypto to invest in. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts as we go through these topics, and let's get started on this journey to becoming more knowledgeable and confident crypto investors. Our first speaker for today is Dennis. Dennis, hi, how are you?
Hello there, thank you for having me.
Okay, you're welcome. I'm very excited to have you here. So, Dennis, please tell us more about yourself and your company.
I'm Thanos Chavlis. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Cyberscope. Cyberscope is a leading blockchain security company. Founded 3.5 years ago. I have a very deep background in software engineering and delivering high-tech apps in software as services in various companies. I got introduced into blockchain mainly as a trader back in 2016, 2017, and then continued with my entrepreneur endeavors.
Okay, Dennis, thank you. Joining us today also is Andres from Weave. Andres, hi, how are you?
Hi, and thank you for having me here.
Thank you for
I'm
joining
great.
us today. Great. So, Andreas, the same question goes for you. Please tell us more about yourself and your company.
Yes, of course. So, as said, my name is Andreas. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Weave. And Weave is a decentralized finance toolkit designed to remove the barrier to entry for new users while still delivering powerful tools and opportunities for experienced users. So by aggregating all of DeFi into one easy single to use interface, users can take their first steps into DeFi with just a few clicks with our platform with zero experience necessary. And experienced users can create investment strategies that are 100% customizable. For example, automate yield collection and swaps, auto compound, bridge between different chains, all in one single strategy. And we give them also the ability to monetize their knowledge by sharing strategies, building passive income, and a community around their knowledge and bringing people together and overall trying to improve the space. So the topics today hopefully are perfect for us.
Yes, Andreas, totally agree with you. Thank you for joining us. And our third speaker today is Claudio. Claudio, hi.
Hi
How
there,
are you?
and thank you
Yeah,
for having me.
thank you for
Yeah,
joining us.
we're doing great. I'm one of the co-founders of AllDomains. AllDomains is a Solana name service protocol, and you can get any kind of domain on our platform. What we usually do is we have partnerships with let's say the biggest projects on Solana when you can buy custom domains. Like you can get a domain like .bonk or .wen or .slurf or anyway, check it out. We are doing custom Web3 domains on Solana, and probably we are going to expand to other chains as well. And one more thing, I think starting tomorrow, we will probably have a rewards point system for anyone who uses our platform. Why am I saying this? Because I think this is also a great way to invest in crypto. Because when you're investing in crypto, you're not only investing money, you're also investing time. And by farming, let's say, other protocols, it's one of the best way actually to invest.
Okay, Claudio, thank you. Good luck on your launch of point system. We'll make sure to check it out. So let's move on to the question. And first question would go to Claudio. as you were latest to speak. So, Claudio, could you please explain to us what are the initial steps beginners should take before making the first crypto investment?
Oh, this is a tough one. First of all, because it's been a long time since I've been in that position. So, but I can say from my experiences that mostly I think what is very important to people is to do their own research before. What I usually recommend to people is to buy one of the major coins. It could be Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana, for example, because lately I think it's a good investment. And then once they understand a bit what's happening in the crypto space, they can probably use tools like staking to earn more API on it. So get some passive income and learn before moving to any kind of more complex protocols or let's say to meme coins. I recommend any crypto investor is to do their own research, understand what is that protocol doing or blockchain, why is it in a good position I mean, why would you invest in that? How it's going to look like in more than just 1 year. Uh, do a bit of, let's say, fundamental analysis, not just go for technical analysis because uh, that's not enough.
Okay, Claudio, thank you. I totally agree with you. And users should always look for points that can help the token grow in the future. Some
Absolutely.
triggers that can help improve the price. Okay, Claudio, thank you. So my next question would go out to Andres. Andres, you ready?
Yes, of course.
Great. So could you tell us how should an investor go about building a diversified crypto portfolio? How to diversify it? Explain to us, please.
That's a very good question. So, as said before, allocate based on your risk level. Especially for a beginner, it's a good shout to invest into the more stable crypto assets like the top 10 BTC, ETH. Keep a proportion in these safe assets to avoid some of your risk exposure. A different type of diversifying your assets can go through different fields of crypto. So it's not all about DeFi. We have GameFi, which is pretty strong. We have the security sector. We have a focus on projects on AI, lending, borrowing. There are different projects in different fields. And this can be your first step of diversification, that you not try to invest all in one single aspect of crypto, but try to spread your funds as much as possible. And what we've seen through Weave also is a big focus from also traditional investors on real world assets. And I think this will become more and more important in the future. We also seen regulators picking up on this topic. And this is another great way of diversifying your portfolio. So not having everything in crypto, but still have the power to have everything in your own hand and on chain. This is something which we, for example, building through our own platform, the integration of real world assets and having everything in one single place in one single portfolio. And I think that especially real world assets will be a huge driving factor in the near foreseeable future for the whole crypto space. And this is what will give us a little bit more of ups and also the main approval and the main getting back into the mainstream once again.
Okay, Andres, thank you. Dennis,
Yeah.
you ready to tell us what are the key factors to consider when choosing which crypto to invest in?
Sure. So there are various factors when thinking about which cryptocurrency you would like to invest. I think the main one is what problem are they solving, right? So you need to approach the project, see what they represent, what they're trying to solve, So I'm not implying that not having a utility might not work, because here we're talking about price speculation, not just utility. And we've seen meme tokens and the growth that they had. So in a nutshell, looking at the technology and the problem solving, looking later at the team behind the project, we've seen docs teams having more success in general. Well, not counting Bitcoin, right? Nobody knows who Satoshi is. But still, when we're talking about low cap projects and having to risk a bit more with potential gains and trying to be a bit on early stage and getting more returns, you would like to see projects having their team behind, who their team is behind, if they have built another project in the past, what kind of experience they have. Then you can look at market cap. Market cap will tell you how much of risk, how much risk you're taking by investing there. The bigger the market cap and the liquidity there is into the exchanges and either centralized or decentralized, it means that the price can fluctuate a lot more or a lot less. Also, community plays a role. I've seen projects getting a lot of hype because of how strong the community is. So when we say do your own research, we don't mean you need to be an expert. We usually mean that you need to look at like 4 or 5 bullet points and just have a high level idea of what happens in those bullet points, like technology team, community. I will say security as well, because we've seen projects being completely wrecked because of a critical bug, and as we do in Cyberscope, this is what we look for: security and vulnerabilities. So when you find a cryptocurrency that you want to invest in, check if they have an audit, check how safe the code is. Don't wait until you get surprises. I think those are the main reasons, that the main factors that most people consider when they investing.
Okay, Thanos, thank you. I completely agree with you on the point where we should look for whether the founders of the project used to launch something before, where it lead them, and if they have like any experience at all in this sphere. Thank you. Thank you. So, Claudia, back to you.
Okay.
You've touched on the topic before. Could you please expand and tell us how can investors effectively use fundamental and technical analysis to inform their investment decisions?
Okay. This is another interesting one. So I think Thanos has said a lot about fundamental analysis before, because fundamental analysis requires proper research before understanding exactly what is the project doing or the blockchain doing, what problem they are solving, who are the founders, who are the backers, what kind of KOLs they support the project, what's the community saying about this. All these factors usually help you a lot in just understanding the fundamentals of that specific token, right? Then there is another thing that it's also very interested is related to market cap compared to competitors, which is a key factor, because if you want to get some, let's assume that you find a project and then you realize that it's either overvalued or undervalued. So this is where I think the first decision comes. Usually people don't buy overvalued project, or they shouldn't be, unless there is a big news coming or there is something else there that we should speculate, and that obviously means that it's not necessarily overvalued if that news is true or not. Buying or selling the news, it's a much more complex kind of um, way to actually trade. So I will not recommend it to beginners. Now, how I usually do it is that, let's assume that I consider the project is undervalued by analyzing a lot of fundamental analysis. Then I will look at the technical analysis and find when is the right time to invest. right? And when you have a technical analysis, you usually see some support, you see some resistance. So it's very basic. You try to buy when the token is a little bit lower, and then you have to sell it when it's higher. It is that simple. But by looking at the technical analysis, you can understand when is the right time to buy it. So use fundamental to understand whether you want to invest in a project, and then technical to decide when is the good time to buy it. That's what I think.
Okay, Claudio, thank you. Dennis, Andreas, do you have anything to add to that?
I think regarding the fundamentals, we should utilize that in the decentralized space. We have so many metrics which are visible, especially compared to maybe centralized approaches where some key metrics are hidden, not communicated with investors. But in this world, everything is on chain and we should really utilize it. We have all the metrics available. Use it. Don't be lazy on that part. This is, I think, the only thing I want to add on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Andreas, thank you.
I agree with both of you. Just like to add, I find greatness in simple things, and as we progress and technology emerges and AI is coming into place, I think it's even a possibility of users to copy transactions of reputable traders. This is becoming a thing. We're seeing it more and more. We even see platforms where you can just copy trades from either an AI bot or a very popular trader. So I would check that out as well. We don't have to be technical experts or great analysts or even the best traders. Sometimes it's worth starting by copying someone that knows a bit better and then just studying why he did that transaction and how to also mimic this approach.
I just want to add to this that don't use big amounts when you do that. Just test it out, but don't use big amounts.
Thank you, guys, for talking about that. Yes, and I would also like to add that, point out what Dennis said. Do not just simply try to copy other people, other experienced traders, but try to understand why they do what they do. That is very important. Okay, thanks everyone. Let's talk about risk management. Andreas, back to you.
Yes.
Yeah, could you please explain to us what are some risk management strategies that can help protect invested capital in the current crypto market?
Yeah, very interesting question. We talked about one big key aspect already, that is diversification. Very, very important to not have all your baskets, all your eggs in one basket. Diversify as much as you can. You don't want to get wrecked by price movements on one specific coin. You don't want to go all into a meme coin, even if you hear stories about people doing 100x returns. That's more of an exception than the rule. So diversification is a key aspect to risk management. Another thing which I see quite a lot of new traders do as a mistake is not taking profits. And that is very simple. Take profits from time to time. This ensures that you also have capital to buy in a potential dip in the market, and you're just on the secure and safe side when it comes to this. So this is very simple, but gets forgotten quite a lot. And keep up to date with the market sentiment and news. If you're serious about investing, if you're not just want to buy and hodl Bitcoin for a year, then you need to follow up. You need to have an overview of what's happening right now. And this can be done by following news, can be done by following experts, interact with community, lurk around. You don't need to be very, very active, but you need to have a basic understanding of this. And all of these features can be done by hand. For example, there are projects which try to solve this problem. We are one of this, but I think that diversification, taking profits, is two things which sound so obvious, but gets forgotten quite a lot how important this is. This is like 90–80% of risk management and avoiding getting wrecked in the crypto market.
Okay, Andreas, thank you. Thank you so much. So, Dennis?
Yeah.
Andreas mentioned, keeping up to date with the news. So could you please tell us, how can investors stay informed about market trends, news to make investment decisions, and if there are any channels or, outlets or whatever that you can recommend to our listeners?
Mhm. Sure. So I think the pretty popular ones are the one, CoinDesk, Cointelegraph. That's the ones that we all know and follow. It's really good to subscribe to various newsletters as well. There are a lot of aggregator websites that you can see multiple sources of news. I think in the end, it depends on what you are trading and what you are interested in. You don't have to know the whole market. As I mentioned earlier, you don't have to be an expert. We don't ask you to be an expert. Just keep an eye of the new trends, keep an eye of the protocols that you and cryptocurrencies that you are investing and managing your digital assets. And it might be a good idea to follow some influencers and analysts too. I've seen a lot of success by people that do that. And one more thing that I used to say, well, a lot of it's been out in the market. Buy the rumors, sell the news. So if you see news happening, don't wait until to buy the news and the price will explode. It's not a personal financial advice. It's just something that we used to see a lot.
Okay, Dennis, thank you so much. If anyone, Claudio, Andres, if you guys have anything to share on the news resource or something, please chime in. And yeah.
I think the most things have been said. The crypto space is driven by communities. That is very important. And no matter where you interact with communities, this is almost always the main form of information for you, be it Telegram groups, Discord communities, following someone on Twitter, X, or even like in the Biz board. But community is the key, and people are eager to share their opinions. It's not like we don't have anyone who's willing to talk about it and they try to hide everything. I think it's more about finding the persons you trust, the communities you trust, and as said before, don't focus on just one channel. Get your news, your opinions from also a diversified group of people. Have the pessimists and the optimists and choose for yourself.
Okay, Andres, thank you.
Yeah, maybe I would just want to add that everything that was said before is actually, I mean, most of the things that we anyhow do, the ones who are trading. I would just add that, as said before, please test. So even if you learn from communities, even if you, let's say, you mimic someone, I would rather test it with small amounts. And of course, diversify your portfolio. So if you're doing that, you're watching, you have to try it first, test it with a few tokens or with a few news, see exactly what is happening, and then use, I don't know, larger amounts. Don't try to do everything at once.
Okay, Claudio, thank you. Thank you so much. So we have the last question for today, and I would say that is the most interesting one. And I want to ask Claudio. Claudio, are you up for it?
Yep.
So could you tell us what advanced trading strategies should experienced investors consider, and what are the risks involved? You always say to me that I'm asking you the hardest questions, so I'm living up to the expectations.
No, yeah, this is not necessarily a hard question. It's a very risky one. Because as you go into advanced kind of trading, first of all, I might not be the expert, but I did some leverage or margin trading before. So once again, using this kind of leverage, let's say you want to speculate on a price increase or a decrease, and you feel like you don't have enough enough cash actually to get more out of that market. Some people will try to use leverage, right? And they will go like 5x on something. Now, the problem with that is that, first of all, you need to have a very, you have to be very powerful emotionally, right? You also want to be sure that the money that you invest in this kind of advanced techniques are money that you don't need in the next 2 or 3 months, because the risk is higher. And when the risk is higher, if you lose money that you actually count on for something, then what happens is that you get into depression or some other kind of mental health issues, right? So the biggest problem with this one is how much risk you want to take, how much you need that amount, how sure you, and how often have you tested that with lower amounts or with normal kind of trading before you go into leverage. And I think because you said advanced trading techniques, I would also add here farming. Farming means you can also invest in DeFi protocols where you can use borrowing or loaning, or you can use liquidity pools to get some APIs. I think that's also like an advanced trading, but it's less risky. And sometimes you can get a very good returns on investment without risking too much. So I would just advise everyone to take a look at what's happening in the DeFi space, what you can do with lending, borrowing first before going to leverage. But maybe the other guests can add more on this.
Thank you, Claudio.
Thank you.
Dennis, Andreas, do you have anything to add to it?
I think one of the key points you mentioned is very, very clear. If you're going with advanced strategies, you need to have a clear mind. You need to have a plan. We talked about fundamental analysis. Don't act emotionally. This is very, very important. Statistically speaking, most traders lose money when doing these kind of things. They do it because the emotions get up to them, because it is a very complicated topic. So yes, be careful with it, research, understand what you're willing to lose, try it out with small amounts. The tips were great, and don't underestimate your own mental health and how taxing this can be. So without a solid plan, don't start it. This is really something which you need to have full control over your own investment and the way you go forward with it. And especially if you do it on bigger tokens or like tokens top 10, BTC, ETH, that's even safer in quotation marks compared to maybe smaller projects. There are decentralized platforms which allow you to do leverage trading on smaller projects. Please do also your research on the amount of holders. Can a whale manipulate the market? All this kind of things can come and bite you in the end if you have not done your research properly on this topic. So this is very complex, potentially can be rewarding, but this is really something where you need to invest time. This is not something you do on a whim and say, oh, I want to try leverage with 10K right now, and I'm going to be very upset if I lose that money. Please be careful.
Thank you, Andreas. Claudio, as I remember, you mentioned that you want to go now.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing. Also take a look on hedging techniques, because you can use sometimes like leverage to hedge your like market position. So that's something that you can do when the volatility is very high and you still want to make a small profit out of it, but you don't want to risk. It's still an advanced technique, but it's giving you like a very a low return on investment, but you can play with larger amounts of money. So just research on hedging techniques. And thank you Vera for inviting me.
Thank you for joining us.
And And thank you, Thanos and Nanda. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So,
Bye.
for everyone staying, I want to still thank all of our speakers today for joining us, and I want to mention a couple of points myself, such as always invest only the amount of funds you are ready to lose, because there is no investments are never safe. No matter how low risk it is, you always have the chance to lose your investment. So invest wisely, do your research, and remember that continuous learning and diversification are key to success. So I encourage everyone to stay curious, stay informed, and always approach your investments with a balanced perspective. So thank you everyone once again for being a part of this conversation. Keep the discussion going, stay connected, and stay invested, because you will regret if you don't. So thanks everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. Have a good day and bye bye.